What's up, everybody? This is Aztec 101 in the ring, and I want to talk about Gary Russell Jr. versus Lomachenko. Now, one of the things that I noticed is that this is a great fight. It couldn't happen at a better time. You got two fighters in their prime meeting together in the ring. I mean, this is what boxing is all about. But I understand and I sympathize with a lot of boxing fans who's looking at this and going, you know what, this is pretty controversial. You got a fighter, his third fight in his professional career, and his second title shot. It's almost insane. It's insane to think of all the other fighters that have to work their way up the ranks. They have to go through, just the basic shit. Failed negotiations, fights being canceled, being put in a position to lose, and still working your way up the ranks. No matter who's put in front of you, you win. And you got a guy who, coming off a loss, his second fight in his professional career, he's his first loss, and he gets a title shot. It's insane. But, the fan part of me, the part of me that enjoys watching good matchups, is telling the logical side to shut the fuck up and enjoy the fight. Just enjoy the fight. Just enjoy the fight. Because in the end, this is a great matchup. It is. And even though Lomachenko may not deserve that title fight, I do guarantee you that Gary Russell Jr. does. And you know what? A lot of people are saying that Gary Russell Jr. has not really fought anybody. But he has proven one thing. And that's, I feel like he's destroyed enough opponents for us to go, all right, enough with the journeyman. Let's give him stiff competition. All right. He's defeated too many tomato cans. He's walked down too many journeymen. Let's give him elite fighters. And then we got a fighter like in Lomachenko, young, a tremendous resume, great amateur background. Even though this is only his third fight in, I think that this is a great time to put these two fighters together. It's 2014. There's so many matchups happening that are just insane and making great fights. And this is, in my opinion, this is just another one. So even though all that controversy is going on in the background, the fan side of me still wants to enjoy this fight, and I'm not really going to complain as long as it ends up without any, controversial judging or anything like that. To be honest, I really don't even care who the announcers are gonna, they're gonna who they're gonna favor in that fight. I really don't care. I'm just excited for the matchup, and let's get on with the breakdown. This is a fight for a vacant WBO title, featherweight title. You got two southpaws, and I want to make a point in that this is a very, very evenly matched fight if you really think about it. And I think whoever has the edge in this aspect, I think is going to do better in the fight. All right, and that's who fights southpaws better. See, in boxing, it's very difficult to find another southpaw. And in your professional career, in your amateur career, you're probably not going to run into too many southpaws, being a southpaw yourself. So even though you're a southpaw, it's kind of awkward when you meet face to face with another southpaw. And it's going to be a matter of, who's more comfortable in that scenario. So we're going to find out in that fight. Lomachenko is, like I said, was respected in the amateur part. He's got that pedigree, the amateur pedigree. But Lomachenko still has an amateur style. Hasn't really set into the professional style. And that means, there's a lot more to boxing. They don't just score how many punches you landed. They score on other things, ring generalship. There's so many factors in a fight that there is always a reason why you didn't win that round. There could have, someone can always find a reason, depending if they favor a certain Uh, excuse me. Depending if they favor something like ring generalship over punches landed, or effective punches over um, effective aggressiveness, or whatever. Well, whatever the case may be, I don't care. Just the point that I'm trying to make is that Lomachenko needs to fine tune other parts of his game in order to be successful in a professional environment. And in against Gary Russell Jr., this is going to be a huge test because Gary Russell Jr. has the type of style that just steals rounds. He does. Explosive fighter, tremendous hand speed, and throws punches in combinations. He doesn't have the footwork that Lomachenko has. All right, let me start off with Gary Russell Jr. I'll move on to Lomachenko. I don't want to be bouncing around back and forth. So I'm going to go to Gary Russell Jr. And Gary Russell Jr. is an explosive fighter. In my opinion, he has the faster hands. Now, all of that is very positive, but I do have to point out one thing that I notice is that he seems like he's walking with his feet stuck in cement. He's very flat-footed. It works for his style. It's been working for him, so I can't knock it until someone exposes that. Whatever. But it seems like it's working for him because he sits on his punches. So the fact that he's flat-footed and he's got his feet planted, he is throwing heavy punches, and he can throw these punches in combinations, and include that with tremendous hand speed. And if you stand in the pocket too long against Gary Russell Jr., you run the risk of getting caught. And a lot of his opponents have made that mistake. And Lomachenko, though, let me go to Lomachenko, who I think isn't slow himself. He's not slow. He may not have Gary Russell's hand speed, but he has the foot movement to move around Gary Russell. Like I said, Gary Russell Jr. is very, very flat-footed. I wonder if this will cause problems. But this may be a factor in the fight, a huge factor, because Lomachenko tries to find angles. He's patient. He picks his shots, and if he can't find a shot with what's in front of him, he tries to find a different perspective. And if he can move around the ring, he's not the type of fighter that just moves for the sake of moving. I mean, he moves around you. He's still there in front of you in a sense, but he's moving around you, and he's got above average hand speed, I guess. That's what I would put it. I would put it as above average hand speed, but nothing compared to Gary Russell Jr. And that could be a huge factor too, the hand speed. There's so many factors in this fight. Lomachenko is a highly technical fighter. One thing that I do like is that he's patient, but I feel he's too patient. He's too patient. This fight is not against another. I mean, even though Gary Russell Jr. is a great boxer, I'm not saying that he's not a good. His boxing isn't good. What I'm saying is that he's less technical than Lomachenko, and he takes more risks. He stays in the pocket. He's willing to take punches. Lomachenko doesn't take those risks. He may end up losing rounds just because he's being out hustled. And one of the things that I don't like about Lomachenko is if he does get hit with a hard shot, can he respond with his own power shot? Can he sway the judges back on his side after the round has been stolen? If there's enough time, can he do it? Because Gary Russell Jr. just is the type of fighter. Even if let's say it's a highly competitive round, but if Gary Russell Jr. is out hustling you, possibly outlanding you, and with his explosiveness and his power, how are you not going to give the round to Gary Russell Jr.? I mean, Lomachenko needs to really step up on his work rate. I hope he really comes in prepared not just for a 12-round fight, but for a very, very active 12-round fight. And game plans now fall into play. What is going to be Lomachenko's game plan? I don't know. I can't predict that. I mean, I'm assuming that the best thing for him to do is to keep Gary Russell Jr. off balance and move around the ring. And Gary Russell Jr. his main goal would be to stalk and turn Lomachenko into a prey and stalk him down and get in there. If you have to get dirty, you get dirty. If you don't have to, go to the body, clean punches to the head, stay active, and you'll win the rounds. And in my opinion, Gary Russell Jr. will win this fight. I have Gary Russell Jr. winning. I think he will, for all the reasons I just mentioned. I mean, I really think that I'm not trying to take anything away from Lomachenko. I'm trying to, I'm trying to really make a decision on this fight because I understand. I understand this is a 50-50 fight. On paper, it looks that way. But it's just everything is in my head is telling me I can't overlook certain things. I can't overlook the fact that Gary Russell Jr. is just so explosive, so fast that is going to be a factor in this fight. And he's no chump when it comes to boxing. So he's going to be very intelligent with his aggressiveness. He's not just going to walk into punches. Even though when he gets into a fist fight, which I've seen before, he gets into scenarios where he's just swinging for the fences, and sometimes his punches come out wide. Maybe Lomachenko can find an opportunity there. But man, I wouldn't be surprised if Lomachenko pulls a win. But if I really have to pick a winner, it's got to be Gary Russell Jr. I really do think that his speed, his explosiveness, let alone if he does have the opportunity to end this in a knockout. He has the potential to do that. But I think looking at a whole 12-round scenario, style-wise, it just seems as though I would favor the one that will go in there and I know can hustle his way through, at least 7 rounds. Especially with the way, Gary Russell fights. He stalks his prey, gets you in the corner, throws a 3-4 punch combination, hard punches, and then he just doesn't do one combination. He does one and then another one and another 3-punch combination, and it's just, I mean, he's very, very, very aggressive, and shit, I think he could break down Lomachenko. This is only his 3rd fight in his professional career, and I think Gary Russell Jr. has a superior professional background. He just has more rounds in the ring, more time in the ring as a professional. So I just favor Gary Russell Jr. In this fight. I got him winning 12-round unanimous decision, or I can imagine a knockout. I can. I really can. I think this could end in a early knockout for Gary Russell Jr. If he comes out aggressive, comes out strong, shit, fuck, man, it's not going past 6 rounds. If he can maintain that pace, if he comes out strong and maintains the pace all throughout the fight, it's not going past 6. So that's my prediction video. This is Aztec 101 in the ring, and I'm out.